everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Barker Designs, and it's time for Halloween. At least here in my craft studio it is. I love Halloween and I love making treats for it, so I couldn't wait to get started on the new holiday catalog Halloween stamp sets. There are some good ones, and today we're going to make this little treat box. Let me open it and show you the inside. We've got 4 Kit Kat minis. Now, let me tell you, in August, when you're trying to find Halloween candy for projects, it's hard. These actually came from Amazon, shipped on ice because it's so stinking hot here. But I am sure by the time you're ready to make your Halloween projects, you'll be able to find Kit Kat minis. And I want to show you, I designed it for 4, but 3 fit nicely also. If you're trying to stretch your dollar a little bit, you could just do 3. Okay, so let's close it up. And we're going to get started. Now, the stamp set I'm using is Boo to You. Super cute little critters. Look at them. Aren't they adorable? And I just think they're so funny. And I'm also using the Crackle Paint background stamp. And this is from the annual catalog. I am obsessed with background stamps. So this one has just been sitting on my counter and getting used quite a bit. So that's the one we're using today. All right, you're going to need a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock that measures 8.5 by 4 3/4. And I think we will do our scoring first. On the long side, you're going to score it 1/2 inch, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, and 7 3/4. Now don't worry, you guys, click on the link and hop over to my blog. You'll find a PDF with this project, okay? And then on the short side, you're going to score 3/4 and 4. And that PDF, you can save it, you can print it, you can file it away. All right, now that we have our piece embossed, let's go ahead and cut it up and get it ready. We're not going to assemble it yet because we've got to do the stamping first. Now, on one side, you've got this 1/2 inch tab. Okay, this is the tab that's going to go, this is the lid. Just remember that skinny part right there is the lid, okay? So we're going to cut these little rectangles out right here around the skinny tab. So go ahead and cut those. Then we're just going to cut all of the other tabs along the long side. Now, to make sure that our box goes together well, you're going to take your scissors and cut the tab at an angle on the side where it meets the side tab, if that makes sense. So just cut your tabs a little bit at an angle, okay? So we've got those, and we've got these 2 right here. All right, now remember this 1/2 inch tab right here is our lid. And we're going to round these tabs so they will go in our box easier. And that's going to require us to kind of fold each little tab in so that we can get it in here. Okay, see how I folded that to get it to fit? Now I'm going to do this one. And then I'm going to do this one. And now this is the tricky one. We want to fold these in. Let's see. I have to play around with it every time to get it to do right. There we go. See, I folded those in and folded in half, and we will get this guy in there where he needs to go. There we go. Okay. Now let's do the other side. Fold that tab in so it doesn't get punched, and then fold these in. Fold in half. So all you have pointing out is that tab. There we go. Okay, now we are ready to stamp with this beautiful Crackle Paint stamp. Now I have already put it on my Stamparatus. I lined it up with my grid paper. That'll make it really easy for stamping. And I'm going to line I can see there where it was stamped, so I'm going to line my box up here and here along that edge, okay? And let's ink it up. And, oops, I better put that magnet on there. Put your magnet down here at the bottom and stamp. All right, now we need to stamp this end down here, and you can kind of see where the stamp ends, right underneath this big line right here. So I'm going to take that and line it up right there. Now, it's not going to be perfect, and I'm totally okay with that. This is the bottom of the box, and honestly, is anybody going to look past the candy? Probably not. Sometimes you'll get it perfect, and sometimes you'll get just a tiny bit of overlap. But with this stamp, it doesn't matter. It's a crackle paint. It's supposed to look messy, and it's okay. All right, now let's put our box together. Take your tabs, your square tabs that we didn't round, and use your strongest adhesive. Tear and tape, fast fuse if you have any left. I retired a long time ago, but I'm still working through mine. Or Tombow liquid, whichever your preference is. And we're going to fold up these tabs into the sides, okay? Just like that. Now these fold down into our box perfectly, like that. All right, and there's your box. Isn't it cute? All right, now it's time to decorate our box. I'm gonna stamp this cute little critter in Memento Black on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And I'm gonna color him with 2 different colors of Stampin' Blends. I've got Granny Apple Green and Highland Heather. I'm gonna start with the light Highland Heather, and I'm going to open it up to the brush tip point. Now, if you know me, you know I prefer normally to color with the bullet tip. I feel like I have better control of the bullet tip. But on big surfaces like this, I like to pull out that brush tip because it gives you more coverage more quickly. Now, I'm going to switch over to the bullet tip and color in these smaller spaces. His legs, and I'm leaving his face because we're just going to do half his body. We're going to do some shading, and then we'll move up to the other half of his body. All right, take your dark Highland Heather, and I think I'm going to use the brush tip here too. And I'm going to add dark down here where you've got these brush marks, and a little bit around here by his legs and by his arm, and right here under the horn. Now go back with your bullet tip. Ooh, I hope you don't hate that noise. Sorry about that. Now let's go through and just blend all of that together. Now, if you want, you can spend some more time really adding some dark spots. But I think for the sake of the video, let's see, I've got to make it perfect. Let's blend all that together. Let's move up now up here. Careful not to get his eyes. Stampin' Blends are great because they blend, for one. They blend the colors together, darker and lighter. They also don't leave those marker streaks like other markers do. They make you look like a professional with your Stampin' Blends. All right, I'm going to come down here and add some dark around the corner. I'm also going to add dark right in his mouth, but you got to go very slowly around those teeth of his. Okay, take my light, blend that all in, and I think he looks pretty good. Now, let's close these up because they will dry out pretty quick. I'm going to go with my light Granny Apple Green. Color each horn in completely. Then get my dark and color those spots. Now the sky's the limit with these guys. You could use whatever colors you like. I went with some kind of Halloweenish colors, the purple and the green. But you could do this for a monster birthday party. You could do this for a funny friend. Anything you want. Now I am going to use my paper snips and cut around him. And you'll see he's got these fine hairs up here around his body. And I am not going to attempt to cut around those. I am just going to cut like that. See how I just cut them off? It's okay. It's just fine. And the reason I really did that is because we're mounting him on black cardstock. And if I was to try to go around those and leave them white, they would really stand out. And so we just cut off those little fine hairs. Nobody will know the difference. All right. Almost done. We got to cut inside of his mouth too. If you don't have a pair of paper snips, which is what I'm using, you should add them to your next Stampin' Up! Order. They are only $10 and they are fantastic. They are sharp and they are small and they are perfect for this. They're also great for cutting hair. When your child needs just a little trim around the bangs or on the end of a piece that's too long, they're perfect. Now, don't quote me because that's not their intended use, but you moms, you know, every now and then you just need a really sharp pair of scissors. All right, there we go. Now, over here on this scrap piece of paper, I'm going to take my pumpkin pie and stamp Boo to You on Whisper White, and I'm going to cut it with my scissors. I'm just going to cut it. I just want to separate it into two parts. So I'm going to cut them apart like this. Now, if you feel better doing this with your paper cutter, go for it. But I've been doing this for a long time and I can just do it with my scissors. All right, now we have this awesome black stitched circle. It is cut with the second largest stitched circle in the stitch shaped dies. That's a mouthful, isn't it? And it is awesome, okay? These are my most used dies, hands down my most used dies. Now I'm looking around for a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to grab one right here because we're going to do a little bit of splatter. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to kind of squeeze it to get some out over here. And then I'm going to flick it. I want kind of a galaxy, you know, like splatter crazy because he's a monster or an alien from outer space. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, now grab your Stampin' Dimensionals and you're going to want to get your mini dimensionals, which mine are here somewhere. And actually, I forgot. We have new black dimensionals. Look at that. They're awesome. And of course, I don't have my big ones here, but I do have my mini ones. Look at that. You won't even be able to see it. Boo. And is this one big enough? Let's see. Or small enough? It's not going to show. Boo to You. All right. Well, we'll use the minis here on our alien monster. And add him right there. Isn't he so cute? Okay, now put some adhesive, and I think I'll just do big dimensionals. You should use your big black dimensionals. I gotta find mine. I think they must be in my drawer. So that you won't be able to see them, which would be great. This is silver thread, and I'm gonna wrap it around my fingers about 7 times. And then I'm just gonna kind of make it messy. I'm gonna stick it to these dimensionals. You can arrange it to stick out farther in some places. And we'll take the end and wrap it around and stick it in there like that. And once you've got it crazy, add a couple more dimensionals on top of the nest of silver and stick it down. Let's see, that one's a little too crazy. Stick it down on your box. How fun, right? He does look like he's from outer space. Now, last but not least, I'm going to take some of these jewels, and these are our new holiday rhinestones, and you can tell which color I have been using the most, this pumpkin pie color. I'm just going to add a couple, 3. There we go. What do you guys think? It's perfect to hold 3 or 4 of those mini Kit Kats, and it's easy to make. I think pretty easy. All right, you guys, let me know what you think. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and make sure you hop over to my blog and find the PDF that has the measurements and the supplies so you can print it and save it and use it when you are ready. Have a wonderful Halloween, everybody. Bye-bye.